My name is Maria Christoforidou, and I am the lead marketing consultant on the marketing automation project for the British Council.
I'm Cathy Blake. I'm Global Group Marketing Director for the British Council.
So when we first started working with the British Council, it was really important for us to understand their requirements, their pain points, and their KPIs. That allowed us to benchmark the current situation at the time, but also prioritize the teams and services that we wanted to start working with. During those first discovery sessions, we worked with the teams in identifying and reviewing their current processes, the as-is processes we call it. So we reviewed their existing campaigns, their tech stack, their lead management frameworks, everything that they had available. Following that, we started developing what we call the to-be process. So what would the future look like for them? For example, do we need to make any changes to those campaigns, further optimize them? Were there any untapped opportunities that the teams hadn't seen before?
It was super important for any partner to understand how complex British Council is. We do amazing work, but we're very complicated. The discovery sessions were super vital for us to be able to kickstart this whole program. Discussing what were the KPIs, discussing what the expectations were, making sure our stakeholders knew what we were about to embark on.
Once the discovery phase was completed, then we were ready to move into implementation, which of course everyone knows that's the exciting part of the project. A lot of times clients forget the importance of documentation, so we just made sure to keep the British Council team informed of all the changes that were happening. We shared with them a setup tracker to keep track of all the new assets being created and set up in HubSpot, alongside all the presentations and diagrams developed specifically for their needs, showcasing their new frameworks.
We started with the pilot to be able to test the technology, see how the teams worked with it, and then we were able to look at our original vision for how we were going to roll out. Originally, we thought geographically, and then we decided we needed to really prioritize in a different way. The teams who are working on HubSpot were definitely more tech savvy. When you start to think about how to roll out a new technology around the world with differing levels of digital savviness, it became much tougher. And this is where these sessions, focusing on communication, on feedback loops, and reassessing our priorities, were completely vital for this to be a success.
During our sessions with the British Council team, we identified that they are visual learners, so we focused our training on giving them those visual cues, making it easier as ever for them to learn how to use HubSpot and to learn to adapt to these new frameworks. In addition, in terms of change management, we also provided the British Council team with 24/7 support around the globe, which meant that at any point, if a member of their team had a challenge or a question, they could submit a ticket and a member of our team would get back to them.
One of the hardest things to get adoption across a very large marketing team is to help them feel like they've been part of the process. We used content that had already been created. We invited people to constantly be part of the testing and feedback sessions. And we made sure that we were always updating our stakeholders. And you'd be surprised at how many requests we had to start to implement marketing automation in so many other parts of our organization. Over the course of 2 years, Huble became part of the team. We were doing monthly town halls. There was also a newsletter talking about all the new things we were introducing as part of marketing automation. And as each new little innovation happened that saved time and was able to draw more growth for the organization, we had more people more interested in learning how could they get involved, when could they have it. We were almost the victim of our own success. The more case studies that we showed of different little innovations we did, the more interest people had in being part of the pilot and being part of the marketing automation rollout. If anything, we had to turn more people away so that we could stay focused on delivering the program as promised.
One of the challenges that we faced was this desire by a lot of team members at the British Council wanting to get involved in the project early on. Not a challenge per se, but we had to manage expectations and we had to make sure that we stick to the priorities that we set at the beginning. Since the implementation, there's obviously a lot of trust now between the two teams. And based on this successful collaboration, we're now happy to see this partnership being extended. We're now moving into continuous improvements of the campaigns that we've set up and further optimization to let the British Council team hit those new growth targets.
I was really keen to show that marketing could be a growth driver for British Council. And this implementation of a technology showed that it's not just about a platform, it's about how people work together, it's about how we look at the customer, ensure that we're really thinking about what's best to make our communications seamless. One of the keys to success for this program was how well we worked together with Huble. They became part of the team. We were able to talk about challenging times. We were able to talk about shared objectives. And it was this partnership that made sure this implementation really worked. The way I look at things, this is just the beginning of innovation for marketing and communications at British Council. We have so many areas we can still explore in marketing automation. We've cracked B2C. We still need to look at business to business and business to government. We have so many other platforms we want to look at and ensure we're continually simplifying the user experience internally and the customer experience externally. Working with Huble has been a blueprint for how I'd like to look at all of the technology that marketing and communications is looking at. They've been a true partner, really getting to understand us getting to really rely on their insight and commitment to making things work for British Council.
So we're now continuing to extend our collaboration with the British Council and working on a number of new projects, including new customer journeys, brand campaigns, content writing, and much more.
It's been such a journey working with Huble to get to where we are, and I'm really excited of the things that we can still continue to develop for British Council.
In terms of what the future holds, well, we want to continue empowering the British Council teams to make the best use out of HubSpot.